Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. We dream of time travel as a grand adventure. We imagine going back to kill tyrants, save civilizations, or buy Apple stock in 1980. We worry about the butterfly effect, the idea that stepping on a bug could change the future forever. But what if the universe isn't that fragile? What if history is actually incredibly heavy, stubborn, and hard to move? And what if time travel requires an immense amount of energy that the average person simply cannot afford? Imagine a world where you can build a time machine in your garage, but because you're on a budget, you can't afford the platinum package to visit ancient Rome. Instead, you can only afford the economy saver trip. This means you don't get to kill Hitler. You get to visit a dry cleaner in Ohio in 1997. You don't get to witness the Big Bang. You get to witness your uncle sleeping on the couch last Thanksgiving. Today's story is about Barry. Barry is a thrifty engineer. He built the Kronos light out of a dryer motor and a Sega Genesis. He tried to change the world. Instead, he discovered that the past is just as boring as the present, especially when you don't have a reservation. This is the story of the least consequential man in history. If you have ever wished you could go back in time just to eat a sandwich you really liked, smash that like button. You have the right priorities. And if you want to see a man try to warn the Titanic but arrive on a paddleboard 20 miles away, subscribe and ring the bell. Please keep your arms and legs inside the cardboard box at all times. Barry put on his safety goggles, swimming goggles. He stood inside the machine. It looked like a refrigerator box had a baby with a toaster. All right, Barry whispered to his webcam. Test run number 1. I am setting the coordinates for 1912. The deck of the Titanic. I will save the ship. I will be a hero. He cranked the handle. The washing machine motor groaned. The Christmas lights on the dashboard blinked. Work clock. A flash of gray light. The smell of burnt toast. Barry opened the door. He expected freezing cold air. He expected screaming passengers. Instead, he was standing in a wheat field. It was sunny. A farmer looked at him. Is this the Titanic? Barry asked. No, the farmer spat. This is Nebraska. Barry checked his wrist calculator. Damn it, Barry muttered. Drift calculation error. I traveled to the right time, April 14, 1912. But I didn't have enough power to calculate the location. The machine defaulted to the nearest landmass with low texture resolution. Barry stood in Nebraska for 10 minutes. Nothing happened. A cow mooed. Then the machine recharged and he went home. Impact on history, 0. Okay, Barry said back in his garage. Lesson learned. Location requires bandwidth. I need to travel locally. I will stay in this town but go back to 2009. I will buy Bitcoin. I will be a billionaire. He set the dial. He poured a can of Red Bull into the fuel tank. Don't ask. Work clock. Barry stepped out. He was in front of his own house. It was 2009. Yes. Barry cheered. He ran to the computer store. He needed to buy a laptop to mine Bitcoin. He reached for his wallet. It was empty. Right, Barry realized. I didn't bring 2009 currency. I have 2024 money. The cashier won't accept credit cards from the future. He ran to his past self's house. He knocked on the door. Young Barry, 2009 version, opened it. He was wearing an ugly sweater. Who are you? Young Barry asked. I am you. From the future. Old Barry shouted. Listen to me. Buy Bitcoin. What's a Bitcoin? It's magic internet money. Buy it all. I can't, young Barry said. I just spent my last $50 on a Zune. A Zune? Old Barry grabbed his younger self by the collar. Why would you buy a Zune? It's going to fail. But it has FM radio. Old Barry tried to slap him, but the machine beeped. Battery low. No. Old Barry screamed as he faded away. Return the Zune. Return it. Impact on history. Young Barry kept the Zune out of spite. He remained poor. Okay, Barry panted back in the present. This is harder than it looks. The universe resists big changes. I need to aim smaller. I need a microtransaction change. He looked at a photo on his shelf. It was his prom photo from 1999. He was wearing a powder blue tuxedo with ruffles. It was the source of 20 years of shame. I will fix the tux, Barry decided. I will go back to the rental shop. I will force myself to rent the black suit. It's a small change. Low energy cost. He charged the machine. He set the date. Work clock. He appeared in the rental shop dressing room. 1999, he heard his younger self outside. I don't know, Mom. The blue one is kinda loud. It's festive, Barry. You look like a prince. Old Barry waited for the moment. He prepared to jump out and say, "Trust your gut, kid. Go black." But then he looked at the price tag on the black suit. $150. He looked at the blue suit tag. $49.99, clearance. Old Barry checked his pockets. He had $0. He realized he couldn't pay the difference. If he stopped himself from renting the blue suit, young Barry would have to go naked. A paradox, Barry whispered. The universe, it priced me out of a better timeline. He watched through the crack in the door as young Barry put on the blue suit. I look good, young Barry lied to himself. Old Barry wept silently. He returned to the future. Impact on history. He successfully relived his trauma in 4K resolution. One last try, Barry growled. I'm done with noble causes. I just want to win an argument. He remembered last Tuesday. He had an argument with his neighbor, Steve, about the name of the actor in Jurassic Park. Barry said it was Sam Neill. Steve said it was that guy from Event Horizon. Barry realized later that Sam Neill is the guy from Event Horizon, so they were both right, but he wanted to win decisively. I will go back to Tuesday, Barry said. I will bring IMDb printed out on paper. I will crush Steve. He set the dial to last Tuesday, 4 p.m. This was a very short jump. Very cheap. The machine hummed happily. 4 o'clock. Barry stepped out. He was in his driveway. There was Steve washing his car. Hey Steve. Future Barry shouted, waving the paper. Read this. Sam Neill. I was right. Steve looked at future Barry. Then he looked at past Barry, who was standing 5 feet away, also holding a beer. Whoa, Steve said. Twins? Past Barry looked at future Barry. Is that me? Past Barry asked. Why do I look so tired? Because time travel is exhausting. Future Barry yelled. Here. Read the paper. We win the argument. Past Barry took the paper. Cool, Past Barry said. So, do we get rich in the future? No, future Barry sighed. We own a Zune and we still rent. Bummer. Steve looked at both of them. You guys are weird, Steve said. I'm going inside. Steve went inside before admitting defeat. He didn't admit it. Future Barry screamed. He walked away. It was all for nothing. The machine beeped. Session expired. Barry returned to the present. Nothing had changed. His bank account was empty. His tuxedo photo was still on the shelf. But there was one small difference. On his desk there was a VHS tape of Jurassic Park. A note was sticky taped to it from his past self. Hey future me. Thanks for visiting. You look stressed. Watch this movie. It's good. Past Barry. Barry smiled. He put the tape in the VCR. He sat on his couch. Well, Barry said. At least I saved $3 on the rental. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We can't change the past. And even if we could, we probably couldn't afford the upgrade fees. If you have a regret that you would fix for under $20, hit that like button. Comment below. Where would you go if you could only travel to a boring time? I'd go to a nap I took in 2015. Subscribe. And be kind to your past self. He's on a budget. Rewind complete.